Today's mindful moment. All right, so get this right. Forget those killer robots from the movies.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into how AI could actually, boost human potential. It's this wild concept called superagency, and we're breaking it down with Reid Hoffman's book, Superagency Our AI Future.
Sounds interesting.
This book, it's honestly making me rethink everything I thought I knew about AI.
You know, what really strikes me about Hoffman's take is he's not just another tech optimist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy built LinkedIn and PayPal, for crying out loud, and now he's investing heavily in AI.
He's got skin in the game for sure.
Big time. So he really gets both the tech side and how it could change society, you know?
It's super important.
And he comes out swinging right away, comparing all the fear around AI to how people freaked out about the printing press, telephones, even cars back in the day.
It's like, haven't we been here before?
Exactly. And those innovations, they shook things up, no doubt.
Absolutely.
But they ended up giving individuals more power and totally reshaped society in a good way.
Yeah. Hoffman's arguing that instead of being scared of AI, we should be focused on how to use it to solve problems, make a better future, you know?
Okay, I'm with you on that, but how do we actually do that? He keeps talking about AI as an extension of human will, which sounds kind of vague to me.
Right. Okay, think of it this way. Cars, right?
Yeah.
They gave us physical mobility. Go further, faster.
I can drive to the beach in a couple of hours.
There you go. Hoffman says AI can do that for our minds, like intellectual mobility.
Yeah, okay.
It's about accessing info, processing it way faster, and even boosting our creativity.
So instead of AI replacing us, it's more like turbocharging us.
That's the idea. And he uses some pretty interesting examples.
Like what?
One that got me thinking was his talk about the private commons. Think Google, Facebook, Wikipedia.
Okay, yeah, they give us tons of value, but they're also hoovering up our data? Is that a fair trade?
Big question. And Hoffman knows people are worried about data privacy and all that.
But he brings in this fascinating economic idea called consumer surplus. It's basically what we're willing to pay for something versus what we actually pay.
Right. Economics isn't my strong suit. So how does that apply to, say, Google search? It's free, right?
Think about it. Google saves you a ton of time and hassle by instantly giving you the info you need.
I'd be lost without it.
Right. That convenience is super valuable, even though you're not paying cash for it.
Okay.
Hoffman's saying, in a way, our data is the payment for that value.
Interesting way to look at it.
It's a whole different lens on the digital economy.
But even if we accept that trade-off, shouldn't there be, more rules around AI development?
This is where it gets really interesting. Hoffman actually thinks the competition between AI companies is a kind of self-regulation.
Hold on. So the desire to win is what's going to keep AI safe and useful.
Hear him out. He points to those benchmarks, the tests they use to see how good language models are. If a model does poorly or shows bias, it's going to lose out in the market. So there's constant pressure to improve and address the risks.
Survival of the fittest, AI edition.
Kind of. And he thinks this works better than top-down rules because the tech changes so fast.
Makes sense. So it's more about letting market forces do their thing. But doesn't that seem a bit risky?
He gets the risks. But trying to regulate something as complex as AI before we fully understand it is like trying to hit a moving target, you know?
Yeah, I see that.
So he's all for this iterative deployment idea. Basically, learning as we go, release tools gradually, get feedback, adapt to real-world problems as they pop up.
So embrace the unknown and adjust as needed.
Exactly. He uses OpenAI and ChatGPT as a good example. They put it out there, millions of people used it, gave feedback, and they made it better, addressed problems.
Wow, this is really shifting my view on AI. But if the U.S. is going to lead this superagency future, what needs to happen?
Hoffman lays out this vision for what he calls a United States of Alarica, where we use our tech edge and entrepreneurial spirit to make sure AI benefits everyone, not just a few.
That's pretty grand.
He compares it to a digital New Deal for the 21st century. And in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to get into what that could actually look like and how we make this AI future something we're all excited about, you know?
I'm ready for it.
Me too. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
And talk about how this whole super agency thing could play out in mental health care. A topic close to my heart, right?
Okay, now this is where I get a little skeptical.
Yeah.
I mean, AI for therapy
Right.
just feels kind of cold, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But Hoffman, he makes a pretty compelling case
Okay.
for how AI could actually totally change mental health care for the better.
Okay.
Especially, well, think about it, right?
Yeah.
There's a huge shortage of therapists out there.
That's true.
And therapy, it's expensive.
Very.
A lot of folks just can't afford it. So this is about, making mental health care more accessible, affordable.
Like more democratic.
Exactly. He brings up this example of Coco.
Okay.
It's a mental health platform.
Uh-huh.
And they tried using GPT-3,
Yeah.
to help come up with responses for people looking for support online.
Right.
It caused a big stir.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it showed how AI could maybe, provide immediate personalized help.
There was like a huge backlash, though. People thought it was unethical using AI like that.
Yeah, definitely ethical concerns.
Especially because they weren't upfront about it at first.
Right.
Yeah.
Coco ended up stopping the experiment. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Users who got those AI-generated messages, they actually rated them higher than the human-written ones.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's pretty surprising, right?
It is.
Makes you wonder if maybe we need to rethink what good therapy even means.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be that sometimes AI can actually provide support that's more helpful than talking to a person?
But what about that feeling that the AI is just like faking empathy?
Yeah.
It's not a person. It doesn't actually care about my problems.
Right. I get that. But think about human therapists too, right?
Oh.
They're trained to use certain techniques, approaches.
Yeah.
They're not always directly feeling your emotions either.
Okay.
But they react in ways that are proven to help. And AI can learn to do that too.
So it's not about whether the AI is genuinely empathetic. It's whether the support it gives is actually useful.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Hoffman argues that AI could actually help us understand and even improve human therapy.
Really?
By looking at massive amounts of data from therapy sessions.
Uh-huh.
AI could pick up on patterns and insights that we'd never see as humans.
So we could actually learn from the AI about what makes therapy work best.
It's wild, right?
Yeah, that's kind of mind-blowing.
Imagine, figuring out the most effective techniques for different issues. Or tailoring therapy to someone's personality, how they learn best.
Wow.
AI could personalize mental health care in ways we never thought possible.
Okay, I'm seeing the potential here.
Mm-hmm.
But I do worry about people, becoming too reliant on AI.
Yeah.
Could it make us even more isolated,
What's a valid concern? Any new tech has those risks, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a guarantee. It depends how we use it.
Okay.
Hoffman's really big on this techno-humanist approach, using AI to make human connections stronger, not replace them.
So finding that balance, using AI to empower us, not isolate us.
Exactly. And it's not just mental health. He sees AI changing education and law, too.
Okay, let's talk education. How could AI change learning?
Imagine a world where every student has their own AI tutor available 24/7.
Oh, wow.
To answer questions, give feedback, adjust to how they learn best.
That would be amazing.
Right.
But wouldn't that, make teachers obsolete?
Not really. Hoffman's ideal scenario is a team effort. AI and human teachers working together.
Okay.
So AI handles the more routine stuff like grading, basic lessons.
Yeah.
And teachers can focus on mentoring, helping students think critically, making learning fun.
AI takes care of the busy work, frees up teachers to do what they're best at.
Exactly. And it could level the playing field,
Yeah.
Giving personalized support to students who might not have the best teachers or resources right now.
Makes sense. What about law? How could AI shake things up there?
Hoffman talks about these smart contracts, which are basically contracts written in code.
Okay.
So they can automatically do certain things based on preset rules.
So instead of needing a lawyer to write up a huge document, you could have AI generate a smart contract that takes care of everything.
Right. This could make legal stuff way more accessible, affordable.
Yeah.
Especially for small businesses, people who can't afford expensive lawyers.
Sounds like it could cut through a lot of the bureaucracy, too.
Absolutely. Smart contracts could change everything. Supply chains, real estate, you name it.
But wouldn't that make lawyers obsolete?
Again, it's more about enhancing what humans can do.
Look.
Lawyers could use AI to analyze tons of legal data, find precedents, even predict case outcomes.
Like having a superpowered research assistant.
Exactly. And AI could help make the legal system fair,
How so?
Imagine using it to find patterns of bias in sentencing or law enforcement.
Wow, the possibilities are pretty incredible. But it all comes down to AI being used ethically, right?
Absolutely. That's the biggest challenge as we head into this superagency future.
Yeah.
How do we make sure AI benefits humanity, doesn't harm it?
Big question.
In our final deep dive into superagency, we'll look at Hoffman's vision for this United States of AI America
Okay.
and what role we all play in shaping this technological revolution.
All right, so let's get real for a minute. This United States of A America idea, is that just a fancy slogan, or can we actually pull this off?
Well, Hoffman's definitely thinking big, right?
Yeah.
He thinks America, with all our innovation and tech know-how and like that go-getter spirit, we're in a prime spot to lead the way in this new AI world.
I get that, but honestly, I'm a little skeptical. I mean, we've got a ton of problems right here, right now.
Yeah.
Trying to build some futuristic AI utopia seems kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know.
He gets that. He's not saying ignore the problems we have.
Okay.
He's saying AI can help us solve them in new ways.
Okay.
Think of it like a digital New Deal for the 21st century, using AI to tackle things like healthcare, education, climate change, the whole shebang.
The digital New Deal, huh?
Mhm.
That's a pretty big idea. What would that even look like?
So he talks a lot about investing in education, job training. We got to make sure people have the skills to thrive in this AI-powered economy.
Right, because it's going to change everything.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just the tech skills like coding, it's critical thinking, creativity, being able to adapt, the stuff that's hard for AI to do.
The human stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also says we need responsible AI development, clear ethical rules, transparency, no funny business with bias and discrimination. He thinks this needs both government and the tech companies working together.
So not trying to stifle innovation, but making sure it benefits everyone.
That's it. And this leads to another big point. AI research and development focused on fixing real-world problems.
Okay.
We need to put resources towards AI that can actually address the big challenges, like climate change, healthcare, poverty.
Yeah, that makes sense. But can the government really keep up with all this? I mean, AI is moving so fast.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And Hoffman admits, the government's often a step behind when it comes to tech.
Yeah.
But that's exactly why we need to be thinking ahead, not reacting after the fact.
Be proactive.
Exactly. Anticipate the challenges, the opportunities, and create policies that, steer AI in the right direction for everyone.
So it's not just about policy. It's about changing how we think about AI, right?
Okay. Totally. He talks about needing a what could go right mindset, instead of all that doom and gloom we always hear.
Yeah, the robots taking over the world.
Yeah. We need to shift from fear to, embracing the potential of AI to actually make things better.
So stop worrying about the robot apocalypse. Start thinking about how to use AI to build a better future.
There you go. And that's really the core of superagency. We're not just watching this happen. We have a say in how AI develops. We have the power to shape it.
Okay, that's inspiring and all, but let's be practical. What can the average person actually do to be a part of this superagency thing?
Well, first off, educate yourself. Learn the basics of AI, what it can do, the good and the bad. Start thinking critically about how it's already affecting you.
Don't just leave it to the tech people, right?
Right. This is a conversation we all need to be having. Talk to your friends, family, coworkers, even your elected officials about AI, what kind of future we want.
Yeah, but it can all feel a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Where do I even start?
A great place to start is Hoffman's book, Superagency. It lays out the key ideas and challenges of this AI era. And there are tons of other podcasts, articles, groups out there trying to make AI easier to understand.
So do your research, ask questions, and don't be afraid to really dive in.
That's the spirit. And remember, the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's up to all of us to make it something that benefits humanity.
That's it for our deep dive into Superagency, our AI future. Hope you found it insightful, thought-provoking, maybe even a little mind-blowing.
If you're ready to explore these ideas more, definitely check out Hoffman's book, Superagency. It's a really interesting look at the power of AI and how we can all be a part of shaping it.
You can find a link to buy the book in the show notes. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to The Deep Dive and share this episode with your friends. Until next time, keep those minds open and keep exploring.